We use this company called Bumble Baby based in Chicago, and they do a lot of one-on-ones, and one of the services that they offer are bottle feeding consultations. Now, we spoke with Kate, the owner, and immediately we told her what our objectives are. All right, we have a 3-4 month old kid, and she's not taking a bottle, and we need her to take a bottle within the next month or so, because we're going on this wedding, we're going on a trip, and we want to feel comfortable leaving her with a babysitter and know that she's going to take a bottle for multiple days. I was very, very straightforward about that. Guys, as you can tell, we're in a hotel room. It is not me and Rachel, so things didn't go as planned. We didn't fail, but we had to make an adjustment. And I want to share with you guys how this whole breastfeeding consultant worked out for us. Clearly, we weren't able to leave Aaliyah with a babysitter for the weekend, but that's not quite a bad thing, and I want to explain that to you. All right, come on, date. Hot date, hot date.
One thing is always for sure about me and Rachel, we know how to just mess up a hotel room. Boy, I tell you. Here, you play with this. Hey,
You guys got to see this house that we're about to pull up to. Incredibly large. Backyard looks like somebody's park. Like,
look at this.
we started meeting once a week via FaceTime, and quickly the team identified that Aaliyah didn't have a bottle refusal issue. She wanted to take the bottle, she just didn't know how. She didn't know how to get the milk out. They said it was a very common problem. We sent them video and she was just kind of nibbling on the bottle nipple, chewing on it, playing with it with her tongue. So from there, they gave us 3 strategies that were very helpful. And these 3 strategies needed to be executed almost flawlessly in situations where Rachel was not around, i.e. the wedding that we went to. There were 3 things that was very important that the consultant helped us with. Those 3 things were the bottle, the position, and the time. Those 3 things are what allowed us to progress in our bottle feeding escapades.
Look at this big drug dealer looking house.
You gotta get this in the background.
Yeah, look at, man, this just look like something just bad is about to happen.
I feel like somebody is going to get their finger cut off here for something that they really had no control over. Like, I don't know, breathing on the boss's, like breathing the boss's air or something like that. I don't know. Rachel was so busy with everything. I tried to take Aaliyah to wherever Rachel was at times so she can feed him, but it just didn't work out that way all the time. So it was just me and Aaliyah. So these strategies had to work.
Please enter.
Hello. Hi.
Hey.
Someone's here with a baby.
Yeah, let's find your mama. Hey.
Now, the first day of us being gone, I had to get Aaliyah together and take Aaliyah to where Rachel was, because this was part of the strategy. She needed to get that first feeding in from Rachel. It's confusing, I know. Just stick with me here. Pool table right there, spiral stairs up there. This is like a some area. Dining room area here. This kitchen, pretty big. Reminds me of Home Alone. And here you got like a wine room or something like that. It's wild. They recommended that we use this bottle made by Lancion. I think I'm saying that right, Lancion. And at first this really sucked because we spent so much money on bottles, and we were like, hey, why can't we just use one of the bottles that we already got? We got like, I don't know, $200 worth of bottles in the cabinet up here, but they're all different size nipples. And when I compare them all, the thing that's different about this Lancion bottle nipple, it's much bigger. And the whole objective is to have Aaliyah latch on to it in the same way that she would latch on to Rachel. And I'm like, oh, yo, that's like low-key genius. Like, why didn't I think of that? So this nipple is much bigger, so it's easier for Aaliyah to latch onto it, and she's more familiar. Now, the next thing that was important was the actual positioning. When I held Aaliyah in the regular, just I guess cradle position, I would give her the bottle, and Aaliyah's like, nah, F that, I don't want the bottle, I'm gonna play with it here, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But what she said was, okay, don't put her in the cradle position. She said put her like on the side. If you put her kind of at an angle to a side, then give her the bottle, it works. I'm like, what does that even do? Because I'm a real like logical person, and I'm trying to figure out why does this make sense. Have no idea still why it makes sense, but it did work. And then she began to actually latch onto it and extract milk out the bottle. Craziest thing. Again, I have no logic behind why it works, but it worked for us. So it's probably gonna work for you too. Now, the last thing that they mentioned was the timing. They said we should give her a bottle at the same time every day. And you don't want the experience to be too like traumatic. Like, oh, here, take this bottle right now. Let her have her boob in the morning, the way that she always gets it on the first feeding. Then the second feeding, which is around like maybe 1 o'clock or so, give her the bottle using those same 2 strategies that we just talked about. Let her drink as much as she wants, and then once she gets done, once she starts to whine a little bit, you don't want to mess up the experience. So put the bottle away and let her finish off on the boob. And gradually over time, what we saw was her time started to increase and increase of being on the bottle more and more. It was like genius, bro. Genius. Like, why didn't I think of that? Day 1 of us starting this, she probably drank not even a half an ounce, probably over like a 45 to 50 minute period. As we started to do that, like every day, the same times, she started to drink maybe like a half an ounce in 30 minutes, then an ounce in about 30 minutes, till today 4 ounces in a single sitting. That's why I was rushing over to the house where Rachel was at, so she can get her first boob of the day, so I can go in and give her her bottle so she can stay on this routine. Now, we had expectations of Aaliyah taking a bottle breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 4 or 5 days. That's what our expectations was. But you know, everybody got a plan until they get hit in the face. It's hard to put the baby on that timeline. Like, I want you to take all this milk by this day, because they know what they want, and you want them to be comfortable, right? So you want to, you know, gradually do it. So even though we did not have this like alone time that we thought that we were going to have, it worked out because Aaliyah has far progressed in taking a bottle, which means we are closer to doing things, activities alone without any kids. What? And yesterday, she may have only taken a couple ounces. Today, she's taken a couple more. But in the future, she will take an entire bottle, and Rachel and I will be able to go on a nice long vacation without any children or babies. So if this was helpful to you, or you know, you just like the video, go ahead and like the video. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna have an awesome day, and I hope you have an awesome day back.